Welcome to the Married Moto Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Married Moto Podcast. Thank you so much for all the love and support. We're so excited for everything that's happening here at Married Moto. We've officially crossed over to 3.1 thousand followers on Facebook, and all of our other social media platforms are climbing every week, and it's all because of you. And we just want to say thank you. So we'll start with Mr. Hunter Lawrence in the 450 class. He went 1-1 for first overall. Once again, he has proven that he is an absolute threat in the 450 class for this championship. And his brother Jett looked good, but Hunter looked better. It's become who's going to make the least amount of mistakes.
Right.
Honey, what do you think about Hunter's performance last week at Spring Creek?
I think that he did amazing. He cleaned up his mistakes from the past few weeks and also capitalized on Jett's not so great weekend. He's so great on his starts. He knows how to sneak up on that inside and just get that whole shot. It's so cool to see. When we were rewatching the first moto start, and I didn't even see Hunter because we were so focused on Jett and Deegan. Obviously, that was a whole thing. But Hunter wasn't even up there until he was. I can't even explain it. He just snuck right in there, and I was like, that is just so cool. He's so good at his starts, and that's why he's doing so well this summer. And he was able to pull away from Jett in the first moto, and Jett couldn't keep up. And even Jett said, he was like, that wasn't part of the plan, but I could not keep up with Hunter. So that's great. And, yep, he's doing great.
Yeah, Hunter has proven that not only will he capitalize on Jett's mistakes, but you have to be in it to win it. And that whole shot in the first moto, and even in the second moto, he got the whole shot too. Jett had to pass him. I think Jett came to play that second moto. His bike was probably set up a little better. But Hunter just stayed consistent. He rode his race. And in that first moto, he just motored off from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Jett couldn't keep up. And that's the difference. Yeah, Jett has an injury that he's working through. But at the same time, Hunter has leveled up so much that he is the class of the field right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, any given weekend, it could be Jett or Hunter. But he's just steady right there, and he's making the least amount of mistakes. Even though he's made some himself, he still has more overall wins than Jett. He has 4, and Jett has 3. And, proud of Hunter for what he's doing. I think that, he's 10 championship points ahead of Jett right now. And, that's probably the biggest lead he's had all year, just about, especially since we hit the second and third round. So it's going to be interesting to see, this next track that we're coming up to with Shugal. Neither one of them are really, great there. So, they're going to have Deegan to handle with and a couple other guys that are really good there. But he's where he needs to be, exactly where he needs to be. And we're going to see this next weekend if he comes out and he proves that he can be the best and he extends that points lead 5, 6, 7 points, then it's going to just continue to get harder for Jett going into the break to maintain his mental stability and come to fight Hunter. But anytime that Jett's been on the ropes, he's always rose to the occasion. And, it seems a little bit that Hunter cracks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Supercross season and some of the SMX stuff, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think he is game right now, and he's ready to play, and he's ready to win, and I think he's going to do whatever it takes. And once we get to the last 2 rounds, if they're close, you're going to see him get a little aggressive with Jett, even though it's his brother. He's not going to hurt him or anything, but at the same time, I think Hunter's got a real shot. So we'll see what happens here this next weekend at Washougal. So we'll move on to second overall, Mr. Man of the Hour, Hayden Deegan. He came to play this last weekend. He was excited. He was ready to go. He came into that first turn, that first moto, got into Jett a little bit. Jett had the position on the inside, and he ends up going down. And he took his time getting his bike all fixed up and ready to go. And then he put on the charge of the year for anybody so far, and went from last to fourth place on a track that's really hard to pass. Sometimes it's very one-lined. But I think he grew a lot by, running comparable lap times to Jett and Hunter out front and passing so many riders. I mean, you got to think he passed 36 riders. And that's pretty impressive to do that. So he's getting stronger every weekend. This next track that we're coming up to at Washougal, he beat Hunter a few years ago, his rookie season. He went 1-1. He was the first person that year over Hunter to go 1-1 in that 250 class. And he just made a statement, and I think he's going to be carrying a lot of momentum going into this next round. And they better watch out, because if he gets a whole shot or gets first or second or third off the start, they're going to have a real problem because he's going to be ready to play. This track is more hard-packed, like how he grew up riding. Jett and Hunter probably are still good on hardpack, but last year, Chase Sexton ran Jett down. Jett was trying to hang with him, and Jett ended up crashing. And so we're going to see what happens this next weekend, but Hayden's doing great. He's learning every weekend. He's not going down as much as the other guys, even though he has gone down a couple times this year. He's been charging through the pack and making a statement and getting better and getting stronger, and I'm proud of him for that. It's just a matter of time before he gets a start and he motors away. Yeah. What do you think about Hayden's performance this past weekend?
There's a clip from this past weekend where he gets off the bike and he's like, I hate losing. And I think that says a lot about his character, regardless whether you like him or not. He's a guy that wants to go out there and win, and you got to respect him for that. And I think it's a real learning season for him. He's one of the top guys for sure, but he's not winning. He hasn't even won a moto yet. And that's really frustrating him. So when he's got a fire lit under him, he's got motive, passion, determination to go out and win. We're going to see the best of Hayden Deegan coming up. I think this last half of the season and going into SMX. And so I'm excited to see that. I think this is just the beginning for him, obviously, but just to see him become better as a rider overall, develop in so many different ways and in his style of riding, and just getting used to the 450 and more power, and just also learning from being behind, one of the best two guys in the world, and seeing how they ride, and just learning so much. So I'm really excited to see him go and maybe win a few motos the rest of the season, and for him to maybe get a whole shot. People have said if he did not go down the first moto, he probably would have won that race, and I believe that with how fast he was going, and just him charging through the pack to get fourth overall it's incredible. So yeah, I'm really excited for Hayden and what he's going to do the rest of the season.
Yeah, and it's something interesting because ever since the era of Ricky Carmichael or James Stewart or Ryan Villapoto, even Ryan Dudgy and Ken Roxon at their peak, no rookie has come in and really had to face two, not just one, but two of literally bona fide best riders in the world. And that's a hard feat to come in and try to overcome that. And every weekend, we've seen him battle with him a little bit, but I think it's just the beginning of what's to come. If he's already this close right now, where he's going to be in the next year or 2 years, it's going to be a problem for those boys, especially if Jett doesn't get substantially better. because the way that Hunter's riding, he may ride smarter in the future, but it's going to be very difficult for him to ride even faster than that.
Yeah.
And so Jett's going to have to get his foot at 100% in mobility and everything to really get to that alien level that people talk about with him. But right now, he's just kind of on Hunter's level. It's give or take every weekend. And I think by the time Jett gets to full capacity, it's going to be too late. Deegan's already going to be at their level. So we'll see this next weekend if Hayden can carry that momentum and bring it into Washougal, where he's always been great. And we'll see.
Yeah.
4-2 for second overall, overcoming Jett's mistake in that second moto, gave him that second overall, first second overall of the year.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Yeah, Jett went down, but you have to be in it to win it. If we made an excuse for everybody that ever won, including Hunter, this past weekend, he went 1-1 on paper. But everybody knows Jett fell. He inherited the first place position. He got first overall. If it wasn't for that, Jett would have got the overall. Hunter would have got second overall, and Deegan would have got third overall. So everybody likes to, harp on Deegan. Oh, well, he got it. He got it gave to him. Well, so did Hunter. And Hunter gave it to Jett a couple weeks ago. So, you can play that game if you want to, but you got to be in it to win it, and you got to be up there to be close. Yeah. And Hayden's doing better. So let's jump into third overall. 2.5 for third overall was Jett Lawrence. First moto, he didn't have anything for Hunter. He was more concerned with Deegan on the start. He pushed him wide, him and Prado wide. And then Hunter slipped up the inside, like you said earlier, and Hunter was gone. And that's all Hunter needed on that fresh track, the bike working perfect, Jett trying to ease into the day a little bit. And next thing you know, 15 minutes in, Hunter's 10 seconds out, and Jett ain't got nothing for him. And it was almost like we've very rarely seen Jett just be straight up like that by anybody, but especially his brother. And that was kind of crazy to see. And then second moto, Jett, you could tell he was going to push the pace. Hunter got the whole shot again.
But Jett knew he had to capitalize within the first few minutes to go and pass Hunter because he wasn't going to let that happen again.
Right.
And he did. And he was gone. And just
that's
made
more
a
like
stupid mistake.
And that's more like the alien Jett that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I loved seeing that.
It was like a little glimpse of what he used to be.
Yeah.
But even when he was like that in the past, you didn't see him make those silly little mistakes. I think back to his perfect season, he really only had one mistake, and that was the one round Roxon came back.
Roxon, yeah.
And Roxon was out front. And
he still came back and still won. So.
Still won. And got the
It was a weird crash because when he fell, he got right back up, but then the bike fell onto his foot or inside of his boot, and it made him not be able to stand up, and that was like so devastating to watch because like he stood up right away. He could have just got right back on the bike, probably got back up to maybe second, I don't know. But I mean, we can't play the guessing game, but if it weren't for that weird thing to happen where the bike got caught in his boot, I think it would have been a little bit different. But I mean it was the best thing that could have happened. I mean, 5th place isn't horrible to get 3rd overall, but he did lose a lot of points on the day, and that's what's really tough to recover from, especially because Hunter's not backing down anytime soon. And I just think that's a hard hit, especially because Deegan's now up in the mix and can take some points too if Jett doesn't stop making these mistakes and clean them up. These points here and there is not helping his chance of winning this championship. And so that was just a really, really tough hit. He's going to have to go out and be pretty solid the rest of the season for him to win this championship, and also bank on Hunter making mistakes because they're just going to push each other to the end. That's really what it's going to be. So
yeah, and Jett needs to go 1-1 the next 2 or 3 weekends.
Yeah, that's what I actually said that right when the race ended. I was like, Jett needs to go out and literally go 1-1 for the rest of the season. But yeah.
Even if Hunter gets a 2-2 on the day, it's a 6-point swing.
Yeah.
He's 10 points down in the championship right now.
Yeah.
If he gets 2 weekends at 1-1, which he's entirely capable of, he'll be, a couple points in the lead in the championship. And that's if nobody else gets in the mix. And I think it's very possible that somebody like Jett could go out and go 1-1 this next weekend and Hayden be right behind him with a 2-2. And next thing you know, Hunter's tied for the championship points lead. That's how quick it can happen. Depending on who gets in the mix. And there's other guys who could get in the mix too. If Prado's having an amazing day, feeling good on the bike, maybe even somebody like a Justin Barsha. They're doing better on Ducati this past weekend, or RJ Hampshire. You just never know who could get in the mix. Eli Tomac, even though he did not have a great showing this past weekend, this was the first outdoor race that he had on his KTM. I mean, he got just a couple turns into the first moto at Pala and went down hard. And so he has zero experience outdoors on that KTM. Now he's got one race under his belt. He's a 4-time champ, 3-peat in a row as well. And it's like, he knows what to do. He's just got to go do it. And I think, I think back to Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton a few years ago, the year before Jett went perfect in his rookie season. He was still in the 250 class, and Chase and Eli had one of the most all-time battles at this track. I remember even a few years prior to that, when Eli Tomac was on a Kawasaki, he fell down and put on the race of the year. It was amazing to watch some of those old beast mode rides. But he's not the only one in the class anymore that can run up front and endure to the end. And so we're going to see this next weekend at Washougal exactly kind of the pecking order. And I think this is it's setting up for one of the best races of the year. This is going to be the 8th round. And then they're going into a break, so everybody's going to be wanting to have that momentum going into the break. And, Hunter is out front. Jett's 10 points back, and Deegan is 62 points back. He's out of the championship, but RJ Hampshire and Prado are just about 10 points from each other for 4th and 5th place. So we're going to see some battles this weekend at Washougal. I can't wait to watch it.
Me too.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 7, review of Spring Creek at Millville, Minnesota. What an incredible day of racing it was. It's setting up for a great weekend coming up at Washougal. And it's a beautiful, beautiful track. Never been there. I do want to go one day, honey. It's pine trees. It's, the corner of the U.S.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be a great day of racing. I'm excited for it. Thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Thank you for all the love and support. And don't forget to join us next week for the review of Washougal. And we just want to say thank you here from us at Married Moto. And we'll see you next week for episode 8 of Married Moto Podcast. Have a great week, y'all. Enjoy the racing this weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.